Hey guys, welcome back once again to The Horror with your hostess with the mostest, Jenna, as always. Welcome back. I always enjoy you guys coming to see me, as you know. So I'm doing a quick review today, maybe quick, I'm not sure. But what I'm going to be discussing today is our Blu-ray horror pack movie from this month of July, The Babadook. So I gotta say, a lot of people, I know this is one of those movies, it's one of those movies. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of stumbling and a lot of me. I had to work at 6 today. I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I'm also in the process of drinking an energy drink, so I'm going to be a little off the wall. Yeah, so anyway, so this is one of those movies that I know a lot of people are either they actually really kind of enjoyed it or they really did not like this movie. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth, I kind of enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it. And I have to say, I understand why people do not like this movie. So I respect the fact of, I respect those who do not like this movie and the reasonings behind not enjoying this movie. Sorry, I'm trying to slow down a little. I'm a little too hyped up. So I know, like, when this movie first came out, some of the initial reviews that I was hearing, a lot of like the dislikes that I was hearing at first was that people were upset that they didn't really reveal the monster, the Babadook, which, okay, whatever. But you do actually see very quick glimpses of the Babadook, and I like that. I like that they didn't overly show the Babadook. I thought they did it pretty well that way. It kept it still a little mysterious, which I'll kind of get to a little later, hopefully if I remember. The other thing that I actually just recently found out, another reason why a lot of people do not like this movie, and I really started to hear this complaint when I did my unboxing and actually when I posted on my Facebook page that I was watching this, a few people were even saying, you know, it's not that bad, but it's that kid. That kid is the most annoying kid. Some people were able to kind of look past the kid and his just annoyance. Other people I know that really kind of ruined the movie. Once again, that's something I will kind of touch upon with this review because I know it's a major complaint, but I kind of understand why that kid was just such an annoyance. But let's get into it. And I haven't really watched like anyone's like physical review about this movie, with the exception of a very kind of small, quick review from an unboxing from the horror. Not related to me, obviously, but I watched her unboxing this morning as I was getting ready for work, and she did a quick little review. That's another point that I want to touch on, which hopefully I will kind of get to, because you guys know I don't write anything down for these reviews. But let's get into it. So when I first popped this in, I will have to admit the kid, within like the first 30 seconds of the movie, I could not stand him. I was like, I even said on Facebook a couple of times, I'm like, I want to slap that kid. I want to punch that kid. I want to punch that kid in the jugular and everything. Just very over the top. But it's kind of, for me, I kind of understand as the movie went on that the reason why he was kind of annoying. Backstory basically is the night that he was born, his father was driving his mother to the hospital, and his father ended up dying that night, the day that he was born. So in turn, the rest of the movie, we kind of see the turmoil between the mom and the son. The son is like 7 or on the verge of turning 7, and is very perceptive in the fact that, and I feel also too, he kind of harbors some guilt in feeling that he was the reason why his father died, basically, because, like I said, the father passed away the day that this kid was born. And he also picks up on that with his mom. Like I said, he's very perceptive about that, as though his mom almost harbor some resentment towards him, because if it weren't for him, she would still have her husband, and just feeling a lot of that guilt. And every time she kind of looks at her son, she thinks of her husband that she no longer has. So that I kind of understand. And this kid with his annoyance and everything, his annoying behavior, his lashing out, at least from like a psychological point of view or psychology point of view, he's just trying to get the attention, even if it's negative attention from his mother, to at least acknowledge him, acknowledge his presence and stuff. But he does, throughout the movie, we see that he's always trying to, ward off the Babadook and everything, trying to protect his mom, kind of almost taking over the role of the man of the house since his dad's no longer there. And genuinely, I mean, he doesn't want to lose his mom, as much as she, in turn, is also kind of not the best mother. I don't necessarily want to say crappy mother, because she does definitely seem to be suffering from, obviously, like postpartum depression and stuff, post-traumatic stress and everything from what had happened. So that's, to me, I totally understand that. And over the course of the movie, I do start to feel slightly sympathetic for the kid and even the mom. I mean, I feel a little sympathetic towards both of them, because it's just a crap situation. And I don't like the fact that the dad, the husband, ended up dying, but I like the fact that they kind of did a little bit of a twist, because so often it's, if a parent dies like the day of a child's birth, it's usually the mother from complications, or within a couple of days of the child being born due to complications. So it was kind of nice to see sort of like the flip side of that, because obviously there are young kids whose father passed away at a very, very young age. It happens, but you don't really hear about it. So that, it was kind of nice to see a different side of it, something a little different, especially something you really couldn't control like that. So, you have that, and this kid kind of does get bullied a bit because he's a little bit weird. And I think someone had commented on my unboxing video about, because everyone was saying, oh, the kid's annoying. Someone, I forget who, and I'm sorry, I was going to look this up, but someone had said, yeah, you know what, the kid's annoying, but honestly, I feel a little bit of a connection. I sort of identify at some points with the kid. I was kind of like, okay, I kind of can see where people identify. But I honestly, at one point, I certainly definitely found myself identifying with this young boy. And it was at a point where I still was finding him pretty annoying, and I wanted to still strangle him. But like I said, there was a point where I definitely identified with him, and it was the scene where he was at the birthday party with for the other girl. He was in the treehouse or something. I think it was a treehouse because they were a little bit higher up, and the girl is like, oh, pretty much bullying him. She's like, "You're weird. You don't have a dad." Blah blah blah. Just really kind of going off on this kid, and it's like it's like, yeah, he's annoying. But that brought back a lot of memories for me, because when I was growing up, actually, especially in junior high, like I was kind of picked on a lot throughout my entire school career, but especially junior high. So obviously I was a little bit older than this kid, but I definitely identified with that, because that is like the worst feeling, when people really are, instead of trying to get to know you, they just kind of attack you and make fun of you because it's easier. So I totally identified with that kid at that moment. So from there, though, even though he continued to be slightly annoying, I totally was kind of rooting for him. And this movie, too, with a lot of the post-traumatic stress and everything, the whole issue of everything, like neither the mom or the son really seem to acknowledge the situation. They don't really acknowledge that the other is still suffering, still harboring like guilt and resentment and everything towards each other because of what had happened. And, eventually they, end up actually kind of talking about it and kind of seeing eye to eye of like, oh my God, we're not getting anywhere. We're just beating each other up. We should talk about this and everything. So I feel like the Babadook kind of is that manifestation of, what's going on, their, depression and everything, almost in a physical form, and how it really has a stranglehold on both of them, and it's really kind of destroying their lives. And, the mom, even throughout the movie, is like, don't talk about him, don't talk about the Babadook, don't talk about him. Basically saying, don't talk about your father, don't talk about what happened and everything. Like, it's not right, it's not socially acceptable. And so, finally, like I said, they eventually are kind of like, we have to defeat this together and, get on with our lives, basically. So, that in a nutshell kind of is what the Babadook is. I like it because there is certain things about this movie. I feel, at least with me, I liked it because I had to kind of use my brain a little bit and kind of like see the different things that were going on and see kind of like the layers to it. There's a little bit more to this movie than just a little boogeyman scary story thing. So with that being said, though, also going back to when I mentioned the horror, she, I know she doesn't particularly enjoy this movie, and I totally respect the reason why she doesn't like this. And I guess even other people feel this way as well, and is a reason why they don't enjoy this movie. Once again, I totally see where these people are coming from, and I do agree with their opinion on this. I'm not going to bash them about it because I definitely see where they're coming from. But with the whole sort of postpartum depression and everything, and not dealing with it, and then suddenly at the end, it's like they kind of make a piece and everything about things, and then it just seems like, oh, boom, everything's okay, and it's all good. Makes it seem like it takes 2 seconds to get over something. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. But I just felt like with the end, like, yeah, like I said, it seems like they resolve things pretty quickly. Life's kosher, life is good. But I feel like, yeah, they buried the hatchet, but I felt like they gave an illusion, or they alluded to, yeah, it's over. Things will be okay. Things will get better. But I felt like there's a like moment or two towards the end that alluded that, okay, they're still working on their issues. They're both willing to change their attitudes and really be a little bit more open. Like, for instance, they're both sitting on the couch with like the social workers, and the mom's like, oh yeah, the school seems great and everything, and the son said something like, oh yeah, my dad died when I was born, the night I was born. Little things like that where, and the mom even said like, oh, because she was still a little embarrassed by it almost, and she said, oh, you know what, that's one of the qualities that he got from his father. He just kind of says what's on his mind and everything. And I feel like a moment like that kind of shows like, okay, they're both still a little intimidated with the situation, but they're both willing to actually move forward, work on the relationship, continue working on the future. Like, the past is the past, but we need to work together and make things okay with us and work on our relationship. So, that was kind of my take. Like I said, I can see where other people are like, oh, so just a quick little whatever and everything's good, nice happy ending. But whatever. I'm not saying one or the other is right in the opinion. I think both opinions are very justified. So, but that is my review. That was not so quick. I'm sorry. But let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you have already kind of told me what you thought of this movie. Let me know what else you think of it. Till next time, you guys, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.